All right, a few words about passion and patience when trading. Um, if you can stick to the stocks that have passion or recent passion in them, and I'll show you what I mean in just a minute, you save yourself a lot of little stop outs. And look at it this way: every time you have a small stop out, maybe you lose a quick $100. You've got to make $200 on the next trade just to be up 100, right? And so the small losses can add up. So, in my opinion, you're better off looking for stocks that have had recent passion. And then, if you know how to trade them, you can get quick feedback, quick moves. If the quick move doesn't happen after one of the setups, then you know you're wrong about the timing and you get back out. But you don't have a lot of ambiguity, a lot of hey, I wonder if this is going to work. It's either going to work or it's not in the passionate ones. And when they do work, you get really nice moves. Now, the reason I have PTEN up here as an example, a couple days ago this gapped up and then pulled back, and I already had it on watch because it had support near 18 and it had been down big a couple days in a row going into that. These are 5-minute candles. It had a nice pullback 20 minutes into a rising 8-period moving average, and I told everyone in the room, this, if you're interested, could be turning higher. But then I went on to say, however, we've got economic numbers coming out in 10 minutes. I don't like trading in the first 30 minutes. So this is kind of one of those, hey, yeah, maybe that could work trades. And I know that's a weird sentence, but I say it a lot in chat. If I look at a trade and then I get the attitude in my mind, yeah, maybe that could work. That right there triggers another response in my brain that I've trained myself that says don't take the trade. Okay? If I ever feel like, yeah, maybe that could work, I just don't take the trade. I'd rather not have a small stop out. And look what happens. It tries to bounce here. You think maybe it's going to head up to the high of the day and then quickly fails. I wouldn't have wanted to short it there either. And look at that. Just straight sideways for a couple hours probably. Then a little fake breakout right back into the base. Little fake breakdown right back into the base. There's no passion here. And going back to the, yes, it's had support at 18, and yes, it gapped up and had a nice pullback. There's no passionate volume in that first 20 minutes. And again, you had numbers coming out 10 minutes after that. So that was one of those, yeah, maybe that could work. And look what it does to traders the rest of the day. It just becomes not a good day to trade that one. Okay, the next day a little bit better move. But compare that with a couple calls we had from Thursday. We did not trade Friday, by the way. I took Friday off. Compare that with ATHN. Now, if you want passion, I don't think there's any arguing. This thing's just selling from 58 all the way down to, I don't know what the low was, almost 40. Okay, but we were all over this watching this sell-off. Crazy sell-off and the increasing volume and using a method. Again, I don't think you just dive into something like this, but if you have someone to show you how to enter these, and this is one of my favorite setups, these big passionate sell-offs, I made the call on the way back up here after it had bottomed at $42 with a low of day stop, and look at that. Even in that same day from 42 to almost 50, okay, to 49 something. At one point in here on the sell-off, one of our members said, why would you look to go long this thing? You're fighting the trend. Well, when you've got a passionate sell-off in crazy volume like that, if you know how to enter them, you almost always get a big bounce. And I'd rather do it that way than chase it short at some point and get caught. Somebody shorted this down here just trying to make an easy buck, right? And they got caught in almost an $8 rebound. Actually, probably over 8 from the lows. So anyway, called that long at 42. And really over the next, hour and a half, it made over a $7 move in our favor. Same thing with ITMN. ITMN had this, actually had a big sell-off there. I watched it bounce, and then on this second sell-off, I called it at $13 on the way back up. It had bottomed right there using a method I teach, called it at 13, and it went up to 15.50 at one point. So $2.50 move. Our stop was at the low of the day, I think 40 cents below, and got another passionate bounce. But no one could argue that you didn't have passion there. Look at that crazy volume, and look at the move it had made. So that's what I mean by passion. Diamond Foods the other day. We called that at 2083. Right in this area right there. 2083. I think with a 31-cent stop. 2883, not 2083. 2883, and over the next 15-20 minutes, it goes to 31 something. So there's another $2.50 move on 30 cents risk. Now this one, when I called it, didn't have passion. You don't see any volume there, right? But the reason it made the list and still falls under a passionate trade is because a few days before that, you had this crazy move from 26.94 to 40.71. Okay, I mean, it's a $14 move almost, or approximately $14 move in one day. Okay, so then you let it settle down for a few days, right? And then it was quiet. We took a quiet entry on that one and had a really nice move, but it was a quiet entry in a recently passionate stock. So we caught the beginning of a very nice pop because we had it on radar because of this earlier passion. So hopefully that explains, and I'm trying to be extremely patient and trying to teach this patience. You can nickel and dime yourself to death in this market just with the, hey, maybe that could work type trades, all right? Stick with the passion or the recent passion and then a setup, even a quiet setup following recent passion, and you'll get much quicker feedback on your trade, whether it's going to work or not. And usually if it does work, you get a pretty nice quick chunk of money in your pocket. All right, I'm not going to babble any further. We'll talk to you later.